This review is on the movie Tomato Red, Blood Money. I'm the Angry Guy. I'm going to tell you like it is. Director and writer for the film Tomato Red, Blood Money was Juanita Wilson. Miss Wilson also directed the films The Door and As If I Am Not Here. The movie Tomato Red, Blood Money was inspired by a novel, Blood Money, written by Daniel Woodrill. Jamie Lee, Julie Gardner, had definite dreams about what she wanted to do with her life, and no one was going to tell her any different. She and her brother lived in a white trailer with trash in the yard, and apparently they didn't have any problems with flies because they never shut their two front doors. Sammy, Jake Weary, an ex-con who has a roustabout lifestyle. His future doesn't exist past the next day. Whatever life doesn't give Sammy, he takes, and whatever group of people he falls in with and lets him stay for a while, that's his new set of friends. Jason, Nick Rue, is Jamie Lee's good-hearted, fun-loving brother. He keeps his sister entertained and sane most of the time. He doesn't hide his lifestyle of being gay. In fact, his sister pimps him out to the rich neighbors in town. Nice sister, huh? Bev, Anna Friel, is Jamie Lee's mother. She is a whore outside of town that extends her services even to the local police. She tries her best to help her daughter and son whenever she can. The town nearby where all these beautiful people live is called Venus Holler. That is a long ways from Butcher Holler. Venus Holler is a gem of a place because the person who does autopsies is also an owner of a trucking company. He just wipes off the grease off his tools before he cuts some open, that's all. Nice guy, though. They should elect him for mayor. The film begins with Sammy getting out of prison and finding his car in an abandoned parking lot. Damn thing still runs. He hooked up with some people that night that let him stay for a while and did a little crack cocaine. Wow. A girl wakes up and says, "Hey, let's rob a house." He thought for a couple seconds and figured he had nothing else planned, so why not? After jumping over a security fence, his new best friends left him standing there while driving off in his car. While inside thinking the electric was turned off, Sammy opens the refrigerator and the light inside pops on. He grabbed a truckle of cheese and some refrigerated booze, the best kind. While inside, two young people dressed to the nines woke Sammy up and asked him what he thought he was doing here. While explaining he wasn't a thief, besides the cheese crumbs on his face and a half an empty bottle of booze in his hand, then the police arrived outside the security fence with their rotating lights on. Wow. The two people who were dressed up took off, and so did Sammy. The three of them ran off together, stopped, and put their raggedy, old, smelly clothes back on. Sammy was pissed since they gave him shit in the house, and before they separated to their own ways, though, he found out Jamie Lee and Jason lived in a town called Venus Holler. Sammy walked back to where he partied last night, busted a fat guy in the mouth, picked up his keys to his car and some of his tapes, and decided he had nowhere to go. So he drove to Venus Holler, where his newest best friend will be, Miss Meridew. This film was about folks who most people don't even give a shit about. The movie felt like driving through a sandstorm and only catching glimpses of road once in a while. I call the feeling low-level shit. Everyone in the film was on their own direct path they wanted to be. What I liked about the film was Julie Gardner's acting and her character. She wasn't going to give her body up unless it was on her own terms. Both Jake Weary and Anna Friel characters were selfish as hell. For Jason, Nick Rue, who played a gay character, he must have had bad experiences before. Out of an alphabetic score, I give this film a C because some of the characters played their parts, but some didn't even own their characters. I feel like I was slumming while watching this film, which is not a bad thing. We as a couple have lived and worked in some sketchy areas around the United States, but we kept to ourselves and didn't bother anybody. But sometimes that doesn't work either. Thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting. And thank you for subscribing. Thank you. Hey, can I tell you something? At the end of the movie, I had a senior moment. Had to ask my better half, what the hell just happened? After she told me, I go, oh, okay.